Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome back to the One Nation of Gamers Summer Circuit. This is the feature tournament number one. Once again, I'm TJ Osmond Sanders, joined by David the Dog Cairo. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Excited about this next match for sure.
Yeah. Next match is going to be the losers matchup of Group A. It's going to be Calento versus Eldritch. So, of course, since this is a losers matchup, it is also an elimination match. The loser of this match is eliminated from the tournament completely. They don't move on to the playoff stage. They have to rely on their GEICO points in order to bring them back or bring them to that PAX qualification. So the tournament life is on the line for these guys, at least for this feature tournament. So Calento had a very rough first matchup, and Eldritch sort of did as well. So both these guys, I think, have a lot to prove. Maybe not so much Calento, since he's proven himself time and time again on big stages across the world. But Eldritch, definitely. He had a couple mistakes in some of the matchups that maybe might not have cost him, but I'm sure he wants to put up a better showing.
Yeah, I would say so for sure. I don't know. It's also really intimidating for Eldritch to go up against a really well-known player. I know I used to get jitters whenever I played against kind of people who were considered better, but he did make it here. He has something to prove. I'm sure he wants to win, so should be good.
Yeah. To give you guys a little bit of backstory of how these guys got here, Calento was the invited player for this feature tournament number one, and Eldritch was actually the player who qualified because he had the most GEICO points out of any player from the EU region that didn't win an EU qualifier. So Eldritch made his way here with GEICO points. Calento was invited, and it looks like we are jumping into the first matchup here. It is going to be,
Hunter versus Warlock? Handlock? Was it Handlock?
I believe Eldritch did have the traditional handlock, yeah. So Calento had the face hunter, and Eldritch had the traditional handlock. So we can't see Calento's hand yet, but we'll get that back up and running for you guys as quick as we can. All right, going face.
Hunter doing Hunter things.
Yeah. Not the worst start in the world for Eldritch. He does have, he curves out pretty nicely. He's got anti-heal bot in his opening hand to be able to heal back up.
And the Belcher for the taunt.
And the Belcher.
I think we figured out that Calento was running like face Hunter last time, correct? It wasn't mid-range?
We saw Wolf Fighters, Arcane Golems. We didn't see anything that would indicate that it's mid-range, like Paladin Treaders or like high mains or hybrid with Paladin Treaders and high mains. So it looks to be just straight up Smork.
The good old-fashioned Smork. Such an awkward turn for Calento. I hate these turns. Like, do you play Animal Companion, hope for the Huffer, go face?
Yeah.
Do you play the Juggler? I don't know about Quick Shot. That's a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like... Okay, that makes sense. I didn't see the weapon.
Yeah. So the next turn's gonna be a little bit rough. Sludge Belcher doesn't have a clean way to deal with it because
doesn't have a beast. Ooh, there we go.
Nice.
It's one way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the only way, at least for this game, that we'll be able to see these cards because of the spectator client. So hopefully we'll get the cards flipped around for the next game. But for now, upside down.
For now, upside down worlds. So I guess you coil and see what you draw into. If you researched like Calento's match, you know that he like ran an explosive, so you could probably assume that it's double explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe dropping the Drake is better here. Because I don't think you feel threatened enough to have to play the heal bot.
Yeah. Healbot, oh man. Yeah.
I like Drake. It gives you more of a board presence. Healbot just dies really easily. And it looks like we have figured out that it's explosive trap.
Yeah. So he's.
So I guess you have to animal companion here. Like you don't want to give him enough mana with Arcane Golem. So see what you roll with animal companion. Probably smork it up because you are a face hunter, and you are a scumbag.
And even the juggle goes face. To a certain extent, you can sort of play around. No, you can't play around moms. Forget that.
I think you just go face, right? Like,
Yep.
there's no reason to trade anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could maybe abuse the creeper, and if one juggle hits, you could trade. No, okay. Yeah, put him at how much HP? You put him at 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. And there's explosive trap up.
Yeah, when you're playing Face Hunter, you can't really have respect for Molten Giants because you're not really going to get many other opportunities. You just sort of have to put him as low as you can, as early as you can, and hope that he doesn't have a way to block you. And even then, sometimes you can rely on burn. And so the best play that Eldritch can make here is like Anti-Killbot and Sunfury Protector.
He's really scared of it being freezing trap because a decent amount of face hunters run freezing trap, but you can't really play around that. Yeah, so he's gonna trade, figure that out. Half to heal bot, half to taunt. So from Kalento's side, does he have enough damage to end the game? I mean, at least get bored.
He's got a couple juggles here with whatever he draws from his hand, plus the 2 that he gets from Haunted Creeper, and Glaive Zuka actually represents 3 more damage as well. So.
Zuko is a pretty good draw. I mean, you're playing your entire hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you play Zuko first, and then maybe you Arcane Golem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you run the Arcane Golem into the 4/4.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hard to navigate turns sometimes. Let's see.
If you do it this way, you do get the double juggles from Haunted Creeper as well.
Yeah, so you attack in the Arcane Golem into the 4/4, you're faced into the 3/3, you're 1/2 into the 3/1 now, and then face. Yeah. I like it.
Now, you still have a lot of damage to get through, because he's at 15 health, and you're out of cards, but preserving a Knife Juggler on board is going to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think he's going to trade in the 2/1.
Yeah.
Assuming that at least one juggle hits. And there you go. Yeah, I think I agree with... It just depends how low you can get him, right? I think trading. Yeah, I like it. Sweet.
Yeah. Because especially with no cards, Knife
Oh
Juggler's
my
going to
goodness.
represent more damage. Wow.
Well, it doesn't really save him, right? The Knife Juggler, yeah, as you were saying, represents enough damage to where it'll bounce back.
Yeah, if he plays Anti-Killbot this turn, he's basically only playing Ancient Watcher along with it. Unless he feels bold enough to tap. And he doesn't. Oh, Animal Companion off the top.
Hufferino. Leok represents almost as much damage. Ooh, that was the worst one. But at least he can, still try to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. So, the only thing that really saves... what's this guy's name?
Eldritch.
Eldritch, yeah, is like a Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
Something like that. Shadow Flame into track. So Stun Fury is pretty good as well. You could drop the Thorson, Protector it. Should be good.
But now he's on a clock. He's been through both Anti-Killbot, so the hero power is just going to whittle him down over the next 4 turns. So he has to find a way to set up lethal as well. And there's still so many direct damage spells left in Kalento's deck.
the Threaten.
Yeah.
It's not often you see Kalento threaten. I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it from him.
He's embracing the face hunter mentality.
Oh man.
And he knows that this is the losers matchup, and Eldritch just came off of a pretty tough loss. Get in his head. He's probably already nervous going up against Kalento.
The K-God himself.
Yeah.
Wolf Rider.
See where the juggle goes and see where you need to trade into.
Oh, that's pretty convenient. Trade everything but the juggler? Or do you trade in... Let's see.
I think, trade everything but the juggler.
No, you trade everything but the Misha. That way it doesn't die to Sun Fury. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's a beast. Pretty sick.
Mm-hmm. And either way, you're putting him at
2. So
2.
Jiraxis. Ooh. It's a whiff.
Can't even tap.
Nope.
All right, well, he concedes, and Kalento takes game number 1 in the losers matchup. Eldritch is now 2 losses away from being eliminated from the future tournament number 1, and that's never something they want to put out. Is being the first player eliminated. Second player eliminated, okay. Like you won 1 match.
Yeah,
You're good. But first player eliminated, no. Nobody wants to be in that position. So Kalento still has Rogue and Warrior left, and Rogue was the deck that sort of was the liability deck for Kalento in his first matchup. It was a deck that he struggled to find a win with the most. He had a couple games that looked like they were like right within his grasp, but he just couldn't finish it out. There was like one awkward turn that pretty much lost him the game. So we'll have to see if he's going to have better luck this time with it. Eldritch, on the other hand, he's got still have all 3 of his decks remaining. We saw traditional handlock. He's also running Freeze Mage as well as Patron Warrior.
Freeze Mage. That's right. That's interesting.
Freeze Mage.
The Patron mirrors are going to be kind of like strange, I guess. But ultimately, I like Kalento's handlock. Or I mean, lineup. Like the Rogue is pretty good against all of those, and Patron Warrior. I mean, sure, it'll be a toss-up, Patron v Patron, but it's probably fine against combo lock. Like maybe not that good. I guess combo lock's a little favored, but it should beat Freeze Mage pretty consistently.
Yeah,
especially if Kalento's playing it. He's a pretty good pilot of that deck, I would say.
Yeah. Now I'm still not sold on Freeze Mage right now. Still not sold on the Freeze Mage. But he took a win with it in his first game with it in the last series that he played. That definitely wasn't the deck that cost him. And surprisingly, it was actually his Patron Warrior that lost him all 3 games in his first series that he played today. So
Eldritch. That's right.
Yeah, Eldritch. It's not really something that you see very often. It's usually when you look at that lineup, you'd say, okay, the deck that's going to lose in a match is probably Freeze Mage.
Yeah, the Freeze Mage.
It ended up being his Patron Warrior.
Yeah, and it's actually like pretty bad that pretty bad for Eldritch that Kalento got a win with the Hunter, because Freeze Mage is like usually pretty good against the Hunter. It's the matchup where you want to take the win with the Freeze Mage, because the Freeze Mage is pretty unfavored against Patron, especially if the Patron knows how to play, and it's not that great against Rogue. Like Rogue is usually okay against it because no Rogue like doesn't run with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we are going to jump into the next matchup here, and looks like it is going to be Freeze Mage from Eldritch, judging by the Mad Scientist, and we'll see what Kalento is going to be running here in a second. Warrior. He's running Warrior. Oh, there's the rope. The rope. Oh, too soon. Yeah, looks like it's a weird spectator bug.
All right. So Freeze Mage versus Warrior. So I think this is highly favored towards Patron. It just comes down to like how well you play it, though. It's definitely like dependent on the Patron part. But looks like the Mage has Mad Scientist.
Yeah, Mad Scientist. And the Warrior had Emperor Thorsan, and we know that for a fact.
Double Flame Strike. That's interesting. Most of the time it's one Flame Strike, double Blizzard or something, or 1-1. Man. Looks like the Warrior is going to coin out the Frostbolt here.
Yeah. He's going to definitely be looking to get that burn down with the Fireball.
Yeah, to play that Ice Block.
There we go.
All right.
Looks like we're going to be in upside down land.
And I think that the things are switched, right? So Eldritch is actually the Mage.
Yeah.
And Kalento is the Warrior. So the names are switched, but we can follow along because we're smart people.
Yeah.
Okay. And so yeah, Loot Hoarder here is pretty solid.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Okay, I got messed up. So Kalento's the Warrior. Kalento, his Warrior runs Loot Hoarders, where Eldritch, his Patron Warrior, that we'll see later on, maybe, runs Shield Slams.
Instead of Loot Hoarders.
Yeah.
Exactly. I actually like holding on to like armor smith and stuff. You usually want to save it for the second one with like whirlwind effects, and then you can just like get infinite armor. The damage to his face right now doesn't really matter, just because there's Alex Strauss in the deck. It's usually going to be the thing that does the most damage to face. So
yeah. It takes me 10 times as long to think of plays With the cards upside down. This is just a preview for the new Tavern Brawl. Next week, the Tavern Brawl is going to be all your cards are upside down.
I actually like playing barrier over the block. Because the reason to play barrier is you want it to pop. That way your mad scientist can get you the ice block, right? Or if he kills off this mad scientist, it gives you the ice block, and you want the ice block in your hands. You don't want the barrier in your hand because ice block is more important than barrier, right?
Yeah.
So I actually think you should have played the barrier there. God, that hand. He's just passing every turn from the warrior. He's gonna get like pretty big emperor value, but still, it's like pretty awkward.
Yeah.
You don't really want to slam that. It's double inner rage. I think that's what's clogging up his hand.
At least he's getting armor, which still, even though this is Patient Warrior, is still an important mechanic when you're going up against Freeze Mage.
Well, the thing is, like, it's not even that bad for the warrior because the Freeze Mage is drawing so dead. He just drew 3 secrets, right?
Yeah. And double Flame Strike in his opening hand. Absolutely no card draw in his first, 8 cards.
Eldritch does not seem entertained. Not at all.
Nope. And we actually do have the players back in the correct spots now, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my god, so many dead draws, man.
He's got all 4 secrets and both mad scientists in his first 10 cards.
How is he? I guess you fireball that?
You have to. You can't leave that up against a Patron Warrior for more than 1 turn.
Oh man.
Frost Nova does absolutely nothing in that case. And I mean, what cards has he had reduced here? I believe that's a Grid Patron, Warsong Commander, a Whirlwind, an Execute, 2 Inner Rages, a Slam.
Yeah.
2 Executes. Okay. Or is that a Frothing Berserker?
Double Execute. It's not frothing.
Let's see if we can get a mouse over on.
The thing is, this is what I was talking about. Like, whenever you have doubles of cards, it's usually not good. As you can see, like, Kalento's hand is, like, really congested right now. And that's because, like, he has double Execute, double Inner Rage, like, doubles of cards that he doesn't really need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see a lot whenever people have bad hands, is because they have doubles of cards that they don't really need.
Yeah. All right, it is Warsong Commander. Execute, Inner Rage, Grim Patron, Whirlwind, Slam, Execute, Frothing Berserker. Thank you, almighty spectator.
So Kalento feels like he needs to go in, although I don't really see this as super necessary. But he is getting a lot of armor from it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty big deal, is getting a lot of armor. Because at the end of the day, this is still a warrior, and you could still bring your health above 30. Mages still have trouble dealing with people who can bring their health above 30. So,
that's true.
And he is going to be able to put on some damage here. He's going to be able to get through the ice barrier plus some, and that armor is going to be a pretty big deal.
That's interesting he didn't attack with a patron. Oh, no, he doesn't want... Okay, I was going to say, if he attacked with a patron, then his board would be full. I think that was the reasoning. And he doesn't want his board to be completely full for something like Blizzard or something like that. But I don't know. I still think I would have liked to see the attack from the patron instead of the armor smith there. I would have given him an extra armor and an extra other armor here because he'd have an extra unit on board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting that he chose to do it like that.
Well, looks like another armor up pass. I don't know if you want to play the Frothing Berserker out on the board, because that's... Ooh. I mean, I guess it's a body, but...
Yeah, he just wants to put pressure on the board. I don't mind using, like, one. Just, like, getting it out there. The issue here is, like, do you Frostbolt it? Do you just play Mad Scientist? Do you play Doomsayer? Is it worth Frost Novaing a 2/4? I guess so.
Yeah.
God, his hand is like so empty. He hasn't drawn into any card drawing mechanics.
No Arcane Intellects, no Acolytes of Pain, no nothing. No, like, even Blood Mage Thalanos. I guess Mad Scientist is sort of a card draw, but since he drew into 2 of his secrets earlier on, it made the Mad Scientist pretty useless. Like, this Mad Scientist isn't even going to pull a secret. It's just a 2/2. And now he's going to have to Frostbolt it or Flame Strike. All right. upside down land is no more.
God, he has not drawn into any card draw. What is going on?
Yeah. At least he has all of his secrets. You can be happy about that. Kalento's not really drawn into...
I think you have to
Much
cycle
anyway.
the inner rage. Yeah. I think you have to cycle the inner rage here. Oh, okay. Looks like he disagrees. This is fine also. Yeah. Man, he is not drawn a single Arcane Intellect, Loot Hoarder, or Arcane Intellect, or Acolyte of Pain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Warsun Commander. He can get 3 cards. Well, judging by the attack, he's just going to armor up again. I mean, this is also another win condition.
Oh man, putting on
Force
the
the mage to
pressure.
run out of damage.
Putting on the pressure. That 2 damage a turn.
Oh, and Alex Strauss is just going to get executed.
Yeah, I think you have to play the War Song here to draw an extra card. Actually, no, this is your last War Song, right?
Yeah.
Sketchy.
I don't know. At this point, you can probably just armor up for the rest of the game and still win.
There's Archmage. There's 1 threat more that you need to deal with.
Yeah, that's true. He did use 1 execute on the Doomsayer, so the only piece of removal he has left is that 1 execute. So
Exactly. So if he gets Archmage up and freezes the board, then there's absolutely no way that he can clear unless he saves the Warsong Commander.
yeah.
So it looks like he's going to save the Warsong Commander.
Hmm.
Battle Rage. I like it.
2 cards, still pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby.
And there has to be a card draw coming soon for Eldritch.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a lot of dead draws, right? Like a Fireball, maybe a... Oh, he might have cut Pyroblast. Fireball, or... I think he has another Ice Lance left. There we go.
It is.
Alright, and this should help him get into more card draw. See, like
Yeah.
there. There's that. That was the worst draw he could have gotten. The second Ice Lance. There's a Fireball. 1 Fireball left and 1 more Ice Lance left, I believe.
Yeah.
Or, well, no more Ice Lances anymore, but yeah.
Is he thinking about whether or not to Flame Strike this board? Is he scared of how much damage this...
Yeah,
Frothing
he's
Berserker can do?
paranoid of the Frothing. Was he the one that ran Healbot in his deck?
Yeah, he did.
So strange. I think it's teched against Patron. You don't run double Flame Strike and a Healbot against anything else, I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
He had to have cut Power Blast, and after talking to a lot of Freeze Mage players over the past couple weeks, a lot of them have been cutting Fire Blast. They say that Archmage is like the only card you need, and Power Blast is too hard to use.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I would like him playing like the Thalnos here, but because he can always ping it off himself next turn, right?
Instead of giving the Acolyte a draw.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. And I like this from Kalento just going in.
Mm-hmm. He's seen both Frost Novas. He's seen a Doomsayer. He knows that Eldritch has been trying to draw the whole game and has had lots of dead cards.
I think Eldritch is going for the Fatigue plan. At this point, at least.
Well, there's more card draw.
Ooh,
And more. And more.
Yep, there it all is. It was hiding.
Hiding in the bottom 10. I think he has to, like, Ice Lance this.
I think he has to Ice Lance as well.
So he can Acolyte, ping his own Acolyte, and then Ice Lance?
Yeah, but then you give, like...
I think you give a draw to his Acolyte no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's the case as well.
Because you're either just Ice Lancing and then not doing anything, or playing, Loot Hoarder, I don't know. You're not going to deny draws.
I guess Acolyte ping is probably the best, huh? Because playing Loot Hoarder cycles the same as pinging your Acolyte.
Yeah.
So, we'd want to just...
He's debating about whether or not he wants to give him the card draw, but he can't really afford to just sit here with this hand that he has, because his hand is still really bad.
He's played 1 Frost Nova, right?
He's actually played both Frost Novas.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he is running Pyroblast. Interesting.
What does he cut?
It's okay. He's just going to Pyroblast like Gromosh.
He probably only runs 1 Blizzard and maybe no Conocolds.
Yeah, I could see that. A lot of people cut Cone.
he? How much? Do a lot of damage, but I'm not sure how much he wants to all in on this board. Warsun Commander is still keeping on to that. He can do 6 damage over the next 2 turns with Fire War Axe. He can draw a couple cards this turn with Acolyte of Pain and No Motion Inventor.
Warsong seems pretty crazy here. I don't think you would Warsong. What is he doing? Oh, he's... Wait, what? He's trying not to fatigue himself? I'm so confused.
Huh.
Wait, what? That's so weird. I'm so confused. Oh, I think he's like trying not to fatigue himself.
Okay.
Because I think he saw that this guy was running, or Eldritch was running a heal bot, so he's trying to like go for that approach.
Yeah. Well, he actually can't get a single fireball off of this Archmage Antonitis. That's a bummer.
That's true.
Does he even have any spells left that he can combo with it? He has
nothing.
He has 1 Frostbolt.
I thought he used both.
Did he?
I think
Well, then he has no Frostbolts.
the good old Pyroblast on Gromosh. The 10 for 10.
Wow.
Oh man.
Well,
So I think you have to lethal on this turn, or pop his block.
Yeah.
I think Klento is like realizing this. It's like, oh, should probably do that.
I think he has 2 weapons left in his bottom 6 cards.
Has he used a Dustbite yet?
I don't think so. I think he has 2 Deathbites left in his bottom 6 cards.
I also think you should put him to 2 instead of 3. But that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 38 life.
Yeah, that's true. He's not dying anytime soon.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit scary. I mean, I guess, Flame Strike into Ice Block, but the thing is, you don't have any, like, heal unless you draw into your heal bot. Like, Ice Block isn't good unless you have a certain amount of HP to leverage with it. It looks like Clint is going to try to draw into his weapon. I think you're right. He does have a lot of weapons left, and he's just going to try to get it this turn.
Yeah. Well, I think he only has 2 cards left. Or 3 cards left.
Goodness.
Armor
Seems, yeah.
Wait,
I think his last 2 cards are weapons.
Deathbite? Are his last 2 cards his 2 Deathbites?
I think he has 3 cards left.
Okay. Armorsmith is still problematic.
Oh, no, he has 2 cards. He has 2 cards left. You're right. So, yeah, he needs a Deathbite. I don't think Armorsmith is that problematic. Because, you just, like, freeze the board. I think you might want to cycle 1 card just to ensure that you draw into the heal bot. Because you know that Kalento is going to get, like, a weapon right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you need the heal bot for next turn.
Yeah.
So if you don't cycle, you are kind of done for.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you cycle, you get closer to fatigue.
That's true.
He has a lot of damage to get. I just don't think there's any way that Eldritch wins this. Because he has to find a way to stabilize, and then he has to find a way to get...
There's the heal bot.
Yeah, as his second to last card, though.
It's true. But you can... Oh, you can't even combo anything with Archmage, right? Like, do you have any spells?
His last card is Fireball, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Because he hasn't used
So
Fireball
he needs
yet.
the Emperor... his last 2 cards.
That's game, right? Wait, is it? It's going to take Kalento 3 turns. Can Eldritch put on that much pressure?
Nope.
You can Emperor.
He needs... If his last card is Fireball, and Kalento is at 42 health, he needs 6 extra Fireballs. He needs to get 6 Fireballs from Archmage Antagonist. That doesn't even count for the amount of armor ups Kalento will be able to do in the time it takes him to get 6 Fireballs. So Archmage Antagonist would have to survive at least 3 turns, and before he did that, he would have to Emperor Thorsan first to make them cheaper for him to even use them. And Kalento kills him in 2 turns. It's impossible.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Dang. All calculated.
Yeah. But I guess he's gonna stay in and try and see. Maybe he forgot what Kalento's last 2 cards were. Maybe he had 0 damage. Maybe he would be able to survive that long.
Yeah, I don't think he counted.
Even if Kalento had nothing, I think he'd still lose. No. He'd be able to kill him over 3 turns. Yeah. Okay. Getting a little ahead of myself there. Need to calm down. All right. Well, Kalento is going to take a 2-0 lead in this series, and he is 1 win away from moving on to the second elimination match. It always stinks for players like this to make it to the losers match, and, to lose their first match, because then they have to win twice in a row in order to qualify for the playoff stage. But it's even worse if you're in Eldritch's spot and you lose your first match, and then you lose your first 2 games in your elimination match. So
That's rough, but it's definitely possible to come back. I mean,
Mhm.
he can. All of his decks can be rogue. Like,
yep.
it's not anything too out of the ordinary.
And Kalento's struggled with his rogue so far, so
That's true. It's a pretty good hand, though.
okay. So
You mean Eldritch?
Eldritch.
Ah.
Oh man. All right. Well, their webcams are online. So
Oh wow, and that's also a really good hand from Eldritch as well.
yeah. He's got some card draw in his hands.
Like last game, God, that was so bad.
Yeah. Kalento knows what he's up against this time. He knows Freeze Mage. He knows pretty much every single card in the deck. So that can help him navigate this matchup.
I wonder if he's going to go for the extra 1/1 on the teacher by coining it out next turn and then backstabbing, or if he's just going to backstab this turn. It's kind of interesting to see what he values more. It looks like, yeah, he's just going to go for the extra token, the teacher. Whoa, what? Wait, why? Why would you do that?
Why not?
Because you want to get the ice block from your mad scientist, so you have the second ice block in hand. That way you can lethal them over the turn. I don't know. It's strange to me. Maybe
He really likes to fit the curve.
I guess so. But yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
There's some players that just
He likes his
What?
secrets. What can I say?
fit the curve.
Exactly.
All about the curve.
Man. Just Shredder. Start putting on pressure.
Yeah.
Yep. Solid.
Well, Eldritch doesn't have a way to deal with the board just yet. He's got Frost Nova to buy him some time, but no Doomsayer, no Flame Strike, no Blizzard.
I think what happened was I don't think it was that bad of a play because he knows his deck and he knows that it doesn't have much card draw in it because as we saw, like he was drawing dead pretty much the entire time. I think he only runs 1 Loot Hoarder, so I think he wants to go with the Acolyte Ping and make sure that the Acolyte gets 2 draws as opposed to just playing the Acolyte and letting it die. So I think that's what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted to curve out like that. So that makes a little more sense to me. But right now, like 7 damage on board, turn 4, that's a lot. You don't really want to be like, Acolyte pinging this turn, but I think you have to.
Yeah. It gets you closer to your Doomsayers. Oh, there you go.
There's 1.
And there's no way he could force him to overdraw here. So, do you trade into the Acolyte of Pain to deny 1 more draw?
I think you do. But actually,
How much
turn
do you value that
6.
7 damage? Or it would be an extra 3 damage?
You value it a lot, actually. Like a lot. I think going face with everything is right. You could... Okay, Redagger Deadly. That's fine as well. You don't want to commit too much to board for, a big clear to get it as well. And you get a 1/1, so I like it. Yeah. Seems right to me.
Wow, now he's getting all of his card draw at the beginning this game.
Do you Emperor?
This is actually a really good
Probably.
Emperor hand.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of damage staring at you on board. But you know that some of it's going to have to trade in. Or most likely some of it's going to have to trade in. But having Archmage, Frostbolt, and Ice Lance in your Emperor hand, like in your hand when you play Emperor Thorsan, is huge. Because you want Emperor plus cheap spells. You want those reduced. So in a single turn, he'll be able to play like Emperor, Frost Nova, Frostbolt, Ice Lance. Like on turn 10. And that'll give him 3 fireballs, plus it'll freeze the board and the face.
Yeah, Emperor is really, really strong here. So fan, maybe run that 1/1 in, run your face in, heal up, start going face. You know he runs double flame strike, so kind of got to be cautious. But flame strike doesn't clear your board, so you're not too concerned about that, I guess.
Yeah. Is he thinking about sapping it?
Maybe he doesn't want to waste the damage on it. That's for sure. You normally just want to be pressuring the freeze mage a lot.
Yeah, if you sap it, it gives him another turn to play it and reduce further, but that's another whole turn that he's using to play Emperor Thorsan. And another whole turn where you're just getting damage in. So he opts to kill it, which probably the smarter choice in the end, because you don't want to give him like 0 mana frost bolts. But it looks like he's still got a pretty good hand. Now he's got cheap card draw. He's got cheap removal here with the Frost Nova Doomsayer.
I like Frost Nova Doomsayer. Ping the teacher. Start setting up for something.
Yeah. And Kalento's actually taken quite a bit of damage just from attacking into things with his dagger.
Oh, he pings face there.
Bold.
Yeah, why? Wait, did he count up the damage? Like, does he have enough?
He can play Archmage, Frostbolt, Ice Lance next turn and have 3 fireballs in his hand. So if he plays Archmage, Frostbolt, Ice Lance next turn, he puts him at 12. Then he can double fireball the next turn.
That's true. Maybe that was what he was doing. But then he would have enough mana to do that anyways, right? Double fireball and ping, because that would cost 9 mana because that fireball's reduced. So it's just strange to me that he didn't go with the safer route of pinging that.
Yeah.
But maybe this is his plan for sure. He's like, I'm like going with this. If he has the heal, then so be it. But he has the heal, so so be it.
Yeah. He can still do the same play, and he'll still have an extra fireball to get through that last bit of damage.
Yeah. Well, now you definitely do it. Like, Ice Block was by far the best draw you could have gotten. And this is why you want the Ice Block, the second Ice Block in hand, so you can make these plays. Because if Kalento lethals you this turn, then who cares? You have the second Ice Block, you can start pushing more damage next turn. Things start working out really well. It looks like he's doing a bit of quick math right now.
Yeah, so he would put him at 15 this turn if he went with that play. So then over the course of the next 2 turns, he could play... well, if he lethals him next turn... No, because he'd have to lethal him and deal with Archmage, which is very unlikely for him to have that amount of damage. Well, maybe with Blade Flurry, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard to do that math. Because let's say he puts him at 15 this turn, and Kalento lethals him, and pops
like,
it.
Why wouldn't you ping that last turn if you were going to Flame Strike? I think the play for sure was, you could Frostbolt clear the board. I think you do it. Yeah. I like it. But, like, if you're Flame Striking, why wouldn't you ping last turn? It doesn't make much sense to me. And, like, I don't know. Since you drew the Ice Block, you can definitely just go on with Archmage, in my opinion, but yeah, it's just interesting to me.
And it seems like he changed his plan halfway through.
Exactly.
He was he might have been expecting Kalento not to have.
He was expecting the not heal, right? But I mean, Kalento runs double fire, so yeah. I guess you Flame Strike again.
Yeah.
Make it a grand old time.
Yeah, he's still gonna have be able to have a big Archmage turn.
Yeah, Archmage, Fireball, maybe Ice Lance Face, something like that.
Yeah,
start getting him the damage. It's pretty good, yeah.
But he's got a lot of health to still get through, and he's been through a lot of creatures.
Kalento probably runs Loatheb in the deck, I would assume. So eventually that'll start getting some value. Yeah.
And he's drawn into one of his oils. He's got Sousy Deckhand plus Blade Flurry. He's got a lot of damage from hand, so he can lock him out with a Loatheb 1 turn and set some big things up. So
I like Archmage here a lot. You just Archmage, you Ice Lance, you Fireball Face. He has to deal with your Archmage. You're kind of happy about that. You also even have like stuff to do whenever he Loathebs. You can play your Heal Bot, you can play your Ice Barrier, you can ping something, play Doomsayer. So it's not very, it's not like he's in a bad position. The Freeze Mage player, that is.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We can't hear the ha-has. I wish we
Haha.
could. Ha-ha. We'll make our own sound effects.
Exactly.
The stream can hear the sounds, so we look like
Haha.
idiots.
All right, so you can Lothab Zap SI, I guess, and set up for lethal.
Yeah.
Ish. Something like that.
Hey, you know he's been through all of his cheap spells, so except for secrets, so he's not going to get much more value out of that. So sapping it is almost as good as removing it.
But I don't think you can win from that position because you just fireball face. No, you can't. You only got 2 fireballs. That's right. Okay. So Lothab Sap SI. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been through a lot of like natural burn, so you can account for the 2 fireballs coming. But I think that's the best play. He's trying to think of is there another way that he can set up something while still clearing the Archmage? But I don't think there is without using too many resources and damage throwing into that Antonidas.
Looks like that's what he's gonna go for.
Yeah.
And also, like, both flame strikes have been used, so you don't get punished by this like at all. There's like no chance. There's like 1 blizzard left. Oh, he's not going for the SI. Interesting. Chooses to dagger up. I don't know about attacking though.
Now he's gonna have to re-dagger up next turn.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's interesting.
Maybe he wants to use the SI damage as sort of a way to pop the block through freeze.
That is true. That could be it.
Which
But
is
he does have the eviscerate as well.
yeah,
So.
which is something that he might struggle with. Backstab. Well, this seems like a oil turn.
Yeah, but he has to re-dagger, right? Like,
He can re-dagger, South Sea, oil. That's 7.
so
Backstab, Blade Flurry.
Does he have lethal? Re-dagger. So he has 9 on board, plus 8, plus 5. 9 plus 8 plus 5.
He doesn't.
17 plus 5.
He does.
If he didn't have to re-dagger, he would have lethal, right?
Yeah, because he'd be able to eviscerate
Yeah.
and Blade Flurry.
I don't know why he attacked last turn.
Yeah.
Unless it's only lethal because he attacked last turn, but yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, he'd have 26 damage if he had re-daggered last turn. Or if he had an attack last turn, and he'd be at exactly 26 health.
He has to flurry this turn.
Yeah. And he
Instead of
actually
SI. He's
doesn't.
not playing the deckhand.
Yeah. He has second oil in his deck still, so he wants to be able to save that for a combo.
Yeah. I think I would have rather him use the deckhand to kill off that and just push the 4 damage, but huh. So now you just Pyroblast face, right? Like
Yep.
you're no danger at all. Like there's no way you can lose this game unless you run Shadow Step or something. But even then you have like a second ice block.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like Colento like messed up a little bit there.
Yeah. He could have popped the block that turn, force him to play ice block the next turn, in which case he would have had to. He still would have lost anyway, but if Pyroblast hadn't come at that exact time, then he wouldn't have lost.
Yeah, but
Because he could have ice blocked Fireball, ping that turn, put him down to 10, and then Pyroblast to the next turn through block. So it didn't really matter in the end, but sort of those little things can make the difference.
yeah, I mean Colento's still like in a really good position. He has Rogue against like combo lock, which I think it's not no, it's hand lock. Still, I think this is favored for Rogue.
Yeah. A lot of players would disagree with you. Players that don't play Rogue very
That
much.
is true. Yeah, every Rogue player thinks that they're favored in
Yeah.
100% of the matchups, right?
The players that look at the power rankings every week, they look at Dog's column, and Dog consistently ranks Rogue in the top 3.
Exactly.
It's like, well, if Dog ranks Rogue in the top 3, then I want to play Rogue. And so they play it, and they lose every single match to handlock.
Then I Q Face Hunter also.
Yeah.
Slap them. Ha 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 ha. I control the meta.
All right, traditional handlock versus Rogue. Colento still 1 game away from securing his spot in the second elimination match, and Eldritch is 1 loss away from being eliminated from the tournament. So his tournament life is still on the line, and I'm not sure how confident he's going to feel going into this one. It seems like he's sort of been frustrated, I guess, with a lot of the happenings in the matches today. He's made a lot of interesting facial expressions, smiling when he should be frowning, frowning when he should be smiling.
I don't like Colento's hand at all. I like the sprint. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say if he draws the prep, then he's in like decent shape, but I really like hated his hand. You normally don't want double of its early against hand lock, and like oil's like fine, but you generally just like need to draw all your cards, set up a big hand, and then flurry everything down. And prep sprint really helps with that.
He's thinking about oiling and eviscerating here in order to clear off the Drake.
I think that's too risky. Because Dark Bomb punishes you way too much. You don't have any units to follow it up with. And if you had like a Drake next turn, like I could see that working out because you could just play something next turn. But without that, it's just not gonna work.
And because then unless he draws into prep, which he does, but if he didn't, he wouldn't be able to use that sprint for like 3 more turns. He'd be out of cards. So.
Ooh, wow, that is the best draw he could have gotten by far.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Eldritch.
Curving out like a champ.
Yeah. Colento in the first matchup in this series when he was playing Hunter, he threw out a couple threatens. So Eldritch returning the favor.
Yeah, it's only right too.
Yeah. Trying to put Colento on tilt instead. But Colento's not really a player that tilts.
Yeah, I would say he's not.
He's a cold-blooded killer.
Backstab fan. I like it. Double fan. Double fan's come back. I like it a lot. It's so good against Aggro Paladin. It's good against Zoo. It's good against even Mally Lock because most of the time...
The imps.
Yeah, the imps, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you just keep dropping threat after threat.
Both Twilight Drakes, both Mountain Giants in his first, 10 cards, 11 cards?
Yeah, and you get a coin out the Drake. Like, that is phenomenally good.
Yeah. There's not going to be a dead turn for a long time. And this is what Rogue struggles with. Is dealing with big threat after big threat after big threat because they have to use their removal inefficiently.
No sap yet. You could prep sprint into a sap, right? Do you have enough cards for 4? Yeah, you wouldn't overdraw. You'd be at 10. You could draw into a sap. If that doesn't work out, you can eviscerate that. I think I like prep sprint here.
Yeah. Have we seen Colento run a BGH in this rogue? With double fan, I don't know.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
He might just set up for a Tink's Oil this turn, and maybe try to flurry next turn. But we'll see.
But he doesn't have a flurry.
Prep, heal, Tink's Oil? Or is he going to go in with the Pirate?
Well, this clears everything, but he's still taking 8 damage, and he's sacrificing a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 4 damage.
So next turn he's going to sprint. I guess he was hoping that, like, this guy would run out of threats, but he's just not stopping. Drake, giant. Like, good luck.
In the next turn, there's going to be a Sludge Belcher, and the turn after that is going to be a Rag.
Exactly.
Like, do you even worry about this board if you're Eldritch?
I think you just play the Belcher and Smack Face. You can even tap if you would like. I don't think the tap is necessary, though. It's one of those situations where it's like, I have everything I need to win.
Yeah.
All I need to do is live, and like I don't think there's any cards that really help him aside from maybe a Dark Bomb. But I don't know. You got to be pretty mad if you're Eldritch because you didn't curve out into your boom. Could have been Drake, giant boom. That would have been sick.
Yeah, you got to be really upset if you're Eldritch right now.
Drake, giant boom, Rag.
Yeah.
So sick.
I didn't perv perfectly. Oh, I didn't perv perfectly. I didn't curve perfectly.
The words, they're hard.
They are hard. Yeah, I'm still stuck in upside down land from a couple matches ago. I actually just decided to trade into the Earthen Ring Farseer. That feels like a lot of damage thrown into not a lot of damage. But, I mean, Colento does have second sprint. He does have a way to refill his hand. But, I mean, he's got lots of stuff to to deal with still coming into the next couple turns. And Emperor.
You play it, right?
You play it, but what do you play after it? You just Mortal Coil?
Yeah, you can coil. You can't tap. You could also just drop rag, but I don't really like that.
Yeah, especially with the 1/1.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can reduce it for the next turn, so
I think I like the reduction. He has to deal with Emperor. I mean, you can't just leave that up, so
yeah.
it ends up working out. You have Hellfire Belcher next turn, so things really can't go too poorly for you.
And then you just throw your giant into the Violet Teacher.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you traded last turn. You're committed to this plan of trading.
Eldritch, as a player, is pretty committed to
Playing it safe.
playing it safe and
I don't know if Handlock is deck for him then. Like he's even belchering now. Is he gonna smack face or like? I don't know. This seems like a little too passive for me, at least for my taste. I feel like Emperor. Like you already saw one Tinksel. You already saw both preps. How are you scared of dying here? This doesn't really make sense to me.
Kalento's still... Oh, Sap. Sap is a pretty good draw, but he doesn't have damage to back that Sap up. So he could Sap here and take 8 damage to clear off the Giant, or throw his Paladin Treader in.
I think he's just gonna... Oh wow, he doesn't want to take the 8.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Direwolf's not too bad from Paladin Treader.
So do Siphon and Darkbomb?
That's the safe play.
This is probably the right play. I don't
Yeah.
think he has the nuts to play Rag. I don't think I would either, though. It's like...
He could Emperor, Thorsan, Dark Bomb, but then he leaves a charged dagger up, so 2 charged dagger and an Azure Drake. So
I don't feel comfortable leaving up Azure Drake, especially against a rogue. Eviscerate just becomes too good. Although Cleanser's already played both Eviscerates already, also hasn't he?
And-
He's used both Eviscerates and an oil and both preps.
and Southsea.
Yeah, and South. Like how? I don't know. I just feel like not playing Emperor last turn really like now he goes for this play, but was that really better than the turn prior?
He either was going to be left with a Paladin Treader, which was at 2 health, or a Azure Drake.
Maybe
That's
I'm
the
being
difference.
too critical right now, though. I don't know. It's my problem when I cast. I just I get too intense on like these plays because I'm like a player. Also, I'm not just like a caster, so it's very hard for me to. Ooh, Lotheb. I don't know that you can actually kill that Emperor, so I kind of just like either Shredder or Lotheb and face. I don't know. I guess you could kill the Emperor and play Thalnos, but even then, things get a little strange.
Yeah, Lotheb locks him out of all the ways for him to deal with your board, and he still kills it with the dagger up and the Lotheb, and he doesn't really set himself up for anything for next turn though. He's gonna have sprint, and since he's been through both preps, he's not gonna have any way to kill him the following turn. So here, if you're Eldritch, Antique Healbot, Sludge Belcher, the mana lines up a little bit awkwardly because you can't play Rag and something else, but I don't even know if that'd be the right play in that situation. He can also just Siphon Soul for 10 mana.
For 10, such value.
Yeah, but I think
Tap. Oh.
Tap Belcher Healbot.
Have you seen a flurry yet?
We have not seen a flurry yet.
Yeah, I'd be kind of scared of that. This Belcher Healbot? Does that even put you back on board? Get Rag. Hope you don't die.
Right now he's running out of time.
You haven't seen a sap yet though. Like, it's pretty scary either way.
I'm looking up. It's actually 3:30 a.m. in Sweden, where Eldritch is from. So that's actually. Where's Kalento right now? Didn't he move?
I think he's in the States.
Yeah.
He's the first flurry.
So that can also be a pretty big deal when you factor in fatigue. I mean, gamer schedules, especially with Eldritch, who probably plays in qualifiers even outside of Europe. Sometimes their schedules make it so they stay up really late or really early in the morning. But 3:30 a.m. is pretty brutal.
Yeah, for anyone's standards, I would say.
Yeah.
So you could go for the 3 damage flurry. It's okay, but you're still not getting past the Belcher very effectively. You could go for the sprint and try to draw into the deadly poison, but that doesn't even deal with the Belcher effectively either. I don't know. It's an awkward turn from Kalento's perspective. I think I like attacking in, yeah, Thalnos, Flurry, Shredder, Redagger.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid. It sets you up very well. And we should be seeing Hellfire from Eldritch here. I don't really see anything else that could be done.
He can, well, he draws in the second anti-Keelbot as well. He can actually Hellfire and...
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's annoying.
That is annoying. Do you Siphon a 4-1?
Rag is really ineffective here. Maybe if it was something besides Annoyertron, he could have played Rag.
I think he's
17
like
health.
I think he's just scared of Sap, right? Like
Yeah.
Sap hasn't been played at all.
One sap has been used on Sludge Belcher.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
But if he plays 2, he still could be afraid of that.
Exactly. That's why Rag is like such a big risk. It takes up your entire turn, and there's no guarantee that it'll do very much. Yeah, I kind of like the Siphon play, and you can just drop the Zombie Chow, or you could tap. I think the Zombie Chow is a little better than the Big Game Hunter there, though.
Second Blade Flurry. He still has an oil left, so there still is potential for Kalento to come back and win this, but he's running out of cards. He doesn't have much direct damage. He's basically going to have to rely on just a big weapon to bring him back. So there's Backstab. So he finds a way. Double Backstab. Oh no, that was single. It just I saw it once from the deck and once in his hand.
Heal, Backstab. That's like a ton of damage from weapons. I don't know if Eldritch can actually protect against this. Honestly. Double Deadly is 5, plus 3 is 8, 16 damage from Dagger next turn. So he has 16. Kalento has 16 next turn.
What cards does he have left? I think he has 4 cards left. He's got 1 SI.
A Sap.
A Sap.
What? Okay, yeah. Attacking there's fine because you can read Dagger next turn. So he has an SI and a Sap. He's used both sprints. Played low that. Does he have another Farseer?
Yeah, he might have another Farseer, yeah. So, Rag, Zombie Chow, Sun Fury? Or Healbot? Healbot?
I think I like your play. I think I like Rag, Zombie Chow,
Yeah.
the Farseer. You could also play the Molten Giant, but there's no reason to, right? Like
Yeah, Rag is basically a Molten Giant that gets free A damage
exactly
in the situation. And you can't fit in a tap because you need to taunt up here because you know if you're counting his cards, he's got 2 deadlies and an oil and a Blade Flurry left, which just happens to be the exact cards that he has in his hand.
So the reason I don't like Kalento's attack last turn is because if he draws into a Sap, he's going to need to use it, and he's also going to need to re-dagger to get the full damage. So like, it's kind of bad in that way, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't draw the Sap, so it didn't really matter. He had 1 card, so he had a 50-50 of drawing into it. So I don't know about that last attack that he made.
Yeah.
It's a little strange to me.
So Kalento needs the oil. Wow, there's no way that he can get all the damage to face.
I don't think so either. He needs to get the oil up right now. But he also needs the Flurry, right? So I think he needs to re-dagger, Deadly, Tink's Oil, Flurry? No. I think you face tank the Rag. You have to face tank the Rag here. Yeah.
But face tanking the
Dagger
Rag
up.
is the same as Flurry.
Dagger up, double Yeah, double. Oh, what? Did he need to use a so? I guess.
That's 15 damage. So you're gonna put him at 3 if I count.
Wait, how much?
Yeah.
Wait, why did he attack into Ragnarok's there? Didn't he have an 8 damage flurry?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm so confused.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually think that heal by Hellfire is the best play here. So you play the Molten Giant, you heal by, and then you Hellfire. Well, no, you would heal by Hellfire, then play the Molten Giant, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why he damaged his Molten Giant either. But that's okay. We're not judging.
He wins anyway.
Yeah.
His last card is Sap.
We're not judging.
Yeah. Wait. Can he win?
Coento?
No, he
No,
can't.
there's no way.
Draxus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking if he can do 3 damage this turn and then 4 damage next turn. No, but he can't because Drax is just going to lock him out. But that was a weird sequence of plays from Eldritch.
That was such a weird series also.
Yeah, Kalento didn't even have to attack in with the dagger to the rag. He could have just Blade Flurried.
Yeah, exactly.
Saved
Also,
8 health.
I don't know why he attacked in earlier because like the Warlock is going to double taunt, and you don't need the damage for lethal. So like if you draw into the sap, you need to play it.
Yeah.
So the attack in like kind of could have lost them the game essentially if he didn't draw it. Yeah, he had a 50-50 of it.
All right, well, after another weird match, we're going to a game number 5 in this elimination match. It's going to come down to Eldritch's
Patron Warrior, right?
Patron Warrior versus Kalento's Rogue.
Should be a good match. As I said, I think Rogue is favored, but I thought Rogue was favored against like all those decks except for Freeze Mage.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this is Eldritch's Patron Warrior is the deck that runs double shield block, double shield slam. So
I think that that helps us match up a ton.
Yeah.
It's hard for the Rogue to do that much damage like that early. It's really good stall, and like the Rogue doesn't have that many threats. Like they only have like what Teacher and Shredder and something else. But it's still, in my opinion, Rogue favored.
all right. Well, we'll see the opening hands here. Kalento has oil plus Blade Flurry in his opening hand. But double sap. It's not going to really help him too much.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to see. Like that's probably one of the most dead cards in the matchup. It's actually like not incorrect to sap an Acolyte on 3 in this matchup.
Just to force his combos out, force his draw to the turn later.
Just to like basically disrupt a turn
Mm-hmm.
from the Warrior.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a while before Kalento actually gets going because his hand is pretty slow.
Yeah, it is very slow. Ooh, there we
Paladin
go.
Shredder helps quite a bit. But you don't want to play Paladin Shredder, have it get Death Spited, and then have Acolyte trade into something that's a weak attack.
Exactly. Free draws are usually bad.
But at the same time, you can't really afford to play too passively and allow the Warrior to just draw off the Acolyte anyway. But it looks like he's thinking about just attacking in and then redaggering.
I think it's fun.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Warsaw Commander.
So, do you play the Frothing here? Do you play the Shield Block here? I think you just drop Frothing. Next turn you can Shield Block, Shield Slam. Maybe he'll play like a Teacher or something garbage. Okay. Inner Rage as well. I like this. I don't think Inner Rage is too important of a card in this matchup. Deathspite's like the most important card for the Warrior, though. That was by far the best card he could have drawn.
South Sea Deckhand. So he can actually do a Blade Flurry play this turn if he wanted to. and put on a lot of damage with Sousy oil, Sousy
like it.
prep oil, and Blade Flurry.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best play.
Can even hold on to coin.
Man, such value.
Wow. Yeah, this is actually going to be a lot of damage too.
That's 5 plus 8, which is 13. Yeah, 13.
And he forces him into a situation where he has to have. He just saw him use Inner Rage. He does have Shield Block, Shield Slam. But he has to find a way to deal with this Sousy deckhand somehow. And sometimes he might have to attack into it with a weapon, which...
Exactly. That happens like a lot more often than not. It's more about getting initiative on board also. Because like now the warrior actually can't play anything to like, you know, combat board. Whereas like... Wait, what? Is he face tanking that?
Yep. He can armor up Shield Slam, but it looks like he's playing Frothing Berserker instead.
Okay. This isn't like as bad as it seems though, because this is what I was talking about. Like, you need something on board to contest what Kalento plays next turn. Because if you don't have anything on board, like you're just gonna get like run over by like the Drake or the Shredder or something.
Mm.
So this might seem like a really bad play, but I don't think it is like a bad one or that bad of one.
Yeah. Play pod to try to contest it, but now this is when...
Coin sap, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Eldritch does have lots of removal in his hand, has Deathbite as well, Shield Block, Shield Slam, but he's at 12 health.
Yeah, he's pretty low. It's kind of scary.
So now he's got to start thinking twice about whether or not he wants to use weapon as removal. The shield blocks give him a little bit more wiggle room because he can gain health with those, but still...
Maybe you attack in first and maybe just try to get like a war song out. That way he has to deal with your war song.
Mm-hmm.
Like a war song into frothing, and then kill whatever comes out of the shredder. You're 8 HP, but you have a shield block. Yeah, I like war song into frothing here. It disrupts his play. You can charge your patron next turn. You might die, but I mean you're playing to win at that point, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's playing to win and there's playing to live. But I guess we have the advantage of seeing the cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he still stabilizes pretty well. He's going to have Warsong Grim Patron in a couple turns, or Warsong Big Frothing. He can like develop Deathbite next turn, and or kill the Azure Drake with Deathbite. Ooh, double Deathbite. He's going to swing into this, though, and that's still going to be quite a bit of damage. How much is he going to be able to set up over the next couple turns? It's actually not that much.
Yeah, he does get the Frothings next turn, though, which is pretty nice. Also, the Whirlwind effect from like the Armor Smith is actually really, really relevant. It's going to give him like 3 or 4 HP.
Yeah. And Kalento might have to sap the Armor Smith here just to keep him from gaining absurd amounts of health. Or eviscerate it.
Eviscerate. I think the Eviscerate is going to be... Like, that gets more damage because the Whirlwind effect would come into play and, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, attack in, start punching away. Yeah, I think you have to charge here.
Alright, well... Eldritch is sitting at 11 health. And he's going to attack into this. So he's going to be sitting at 8 health. So there are quite a few card combinations that actually just outright kill him coming up in this next turn.
Oh, he face tanked that?
He did, yeah. He didn't really have much of a choice.
For someone who, well, he could have gone face and then killed one with the patron.
Yeah.
For someone who normally plays safe, it's pretty ballsy.
Let's see, that's 2, 3, 5 damage.
It's 5 damage at most. It's not even 5, it's 4 because he doesn't have the mana for it.
Oh, yeah. He can still deal with the Warsong Commander and one of the patrons and sap the other.
I like this play a lot.
Yeah.
Flurry, attack in. Easy.
And he gets the Blood Mage Thanos out on the board to be able to cycle into something next turn, so he's keeping on the pressure, puts him at 5.
Patron Whirlwind, I guess. Armor.
Yeah. You need to make sure you armor up every single turn from now on. Just to reduce the chance.
And Colento wins with a sprint into something, probably. I think sprint is his only, like, really good card right now.
Yeah. He's got both still left in his deck. Earthring Farseer is not what he wants to see, but Powder Shredder put something on the board. But it is a little bit dangerous. Because if he trades in... Oh, well, now it's not so much.
Sure.
This is going to be a pretty big draw from Eldritch here.
This is, like, a really close, intense game. It's not a bad card with Execute in hands.
Yeah, especially if he gets something that's...
I think you can't afford to play the Frothing first because you don't really know what you're going to get.
Mm.
Okay, Execute.
Want something less than 3 attack. Oh.
Oh, man.
That's pretty brutal. Now there's a lot of ways out for Colento here. A lot of draws to win.
I guess you just have to clear board. It feels so bad, but...
Yeah. If he plays Frothing Berserker here and then Death Spites into something, then he is at 3 health. So Deadly Poison kills him. So many things kill him next turn. He just needs 3 damage. So it looks like he's just going to armor up instead. Once again, bring himself back up to 5, but put himself on a clean board.
Oh, man. So low, so scary.
Violet Teacher.
So, at least Eldritch can clear board here.
Yeah.
At least he has that going for him.
Yeah.
A draw like an Armor Smith would be a saving grace. A draw like Shield Block would be amazing. Let's see.
Whirlwind. That doesn't help at all.
Nope. So attacking, execute Emperor, or do you want to play the Frothing?
Probably Emperor. I think you want to protect your Frothing. I don't know. Because you also want to sort of put him on the clock. But Emperor sort of represents just as much power as Frothing this turn. Because they'd both be at 5 attack. Actually, no. Frothing would be at 6 attack.
I think I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Emperor's not going to reduce anything enough for you to, like, really make a difference.
Yeah. So he's going to put himself at 3 health. Oh, man.
It's going to, yeah. And Eviscerate's lethal.
Deadly Poison.
Sprint's pretty much lethal. Deadly Poison's lethal, yeah.
Oil.
So many outs for Colento.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine a series of cards that would allow him to miss, like, not draw with anything.
Sprint.
Oh, okay, there we go. Maybe Fan. I don't know. Can't play it?
They can't play it? Okay, there we go. He got it.
Dang, looks like Colento's going to take the series.
Well, that's pretty heartbreaking for Eldritch to come this far, to go down 0-2, to come back to tie it up 2-2, and then lose the final matchup and have it be as close as it was. That's really rough. But
it's called Advanced BM, man. Colento's a pro at it. He's been playing Hearthstone since it came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Colento is going to move on to the decider match of Group A. So we do have one more match remaining. It's going to be Colento versus Nostim. Yeah, Nostim. Because Wafster was already the player that qualified for the playoff stage on Sunday. Eldritch, unfortunately, is out of the tournament. He will go away with 4 GEICO points for his efforts. So Eldritch, in order to qualify for the future tournament, he qualified via GEICO points, and now he's going to add a couple more to his GEICO purse in order to try and qualify for PAX. So he did not go away empty-handed. He won't win any money, unfortunately. You have to make it to the top 4 to win money from this. But overall, I think it was a pretty frustrating day for him. But overall, I think he played pretty well.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Yeah, and so again, like I said, we have one more matchup to go for the day. It's going to be the decider match, Colento versus Nostim. And the winner of that one moves on to the playoff stage. They will join Wafster as the 2 players to make it out of the group. The loser will be eliminated. We want to give you guys one quick reminder to head over to geico.onog.gg. Make sure you get your GEICO quote. Big shout out to those guys, by the way, for making all this possible. You can also enter in for your chance to win an official TSM PC. So it's right at the top of the page. Follow the instructions and enter in to win that. But once again, guys, one more match to go. So the One Nation of Gamers Summer Circuit will return right after this break.